Hello gorgeous soul friends, welcome to my channel, Madame DeVaux. Thank you so much for tuning in and for allowing me to be a part of your wondrous experience today. So we're going to talk about the collective consciousness because I think this is something that is very important when developing psychic gifts, when learning how to manifest. It's really key and crucial to have an understanding of what the collective consciousness is and how you play a part in it. So I already have a video talking a little bit about the collective consciousness and what it is. I'll leave a link in the description box below, and I'll also link it somewhere around here so you can check it out in your free time. But essentially, the collective consciousness is just the universal database of information that we are all connected to. We are all an extension of. So you could really see your reality as an extension of you. Almost like when you're driving a car, right? Like the car becomes kind of like one with you. Every move that you make and the control mechanisms that you're establishing and initiating are what's propelling the car forward. It's what's making the car stop. It's what's making it turn right and left and all of that stuff. It all, at the end of the day, leads back to you and the actions that you're taking. So it's the same thing with the collective consciousness. It's the same thing with the matrix reality. With the simulation, whatever you want to call it. Your subjective reality is essentially a reflection of you. It's an extension of you. It is something that is a part of you. So the world that you're experiencing and the world that you're living in is just a byproduct of the thoughts, beliefs, and actions that you're having in the present moment. So you can change your subjective reality at any time when you change up your thought patterns and your beliefs. And I don't even really resonate with the idea that you have to be affirming all the time and you have to be changing up your thoughts and, really focusing on your thoughts. Like, I think it's honestly impossible to do that with how many thoughts go through our head every single day. And when you take into consideration intrusive thoughts and all of that stuff, your thoughts aren't really so much of the thing you should be focusing on. It's more of the beliefs. Your beliefs are really the root behind all of your thoughts and all of your decisions. So when you can go into the core and the pit of your beliefs and figure out what they are, where your beliefs lie, where your core beliefs are, and change them up to be more aligned with the experience that you want to have, that is the key to manifestation. So your beliefs are influencing the collective consciousness because you are an extension of the collective consciousness. It's like a symbiotic relationship, right? Like yin and yang. So you influence the collective consciousness and the collective consciousness influences you. The reality that you're experiencing, the people that you're coming into contact with on the daily and whenever, those people are a reflection of you. They are an extension of you. They are a part of whatever thoughts, beliefs, and actions that you're holding in that reality, in that moment. Because each moment is a new reality. We're living in a multiverse, so every single moment is almost like a picture. When you think of like old movies with a bunch of different pictures that are almost kind of just moving so quickly that it's creating this illusion of movement, that's essentially what is going on in your reality. You are just living on a moment-to-moment basis in these like fractal pictures that are all coming together and creating this mass life experience that you get to call your own. So the beauty of the collective consciousness and the beauty of seeing yourself as a part of it is that you have a direct influence on it with your thoughts, with your beliefs, with your actions. So if you want to change the world, you got to start with changing yourself. And this is something that's really important to talk about too in regards to, the climate issue. And I've been wanting to make a video on the climate issue, but it's such a sensitive subject that I've kind of avoided it. Only because I don't really believe that the climate is the issue. It's the waste that we're leaving behind. And that is really just a reflection of the waste that we have within ourselves, the wasteful thoughts, the wasteful behaviors, all of the gunk that people are retaining within their energy field because they're not even aware that this gunk is there. Going back to, the climate issue and the issue with our world and a lot of our worldly issues, not just climate, but, the way that we treat each other and all of this stuff, it can all be trickled back to the collective consciousness, to the idea that people have a lack of awareness of this collective consciousness. They're not seeing themselves as an extension of everybody else, and they're not seeing everybody else as an extension of them. They're simply seeing everything as separate. There's this illusion of separation that has been crafted over the course of centuries, thousands of years, and we're still adhering to that idea. Times are changing, we're becoming more conscious and more aware as we connect to these higher energies. And as we move through the human experience collectively, we are recognizing that these frames of mind don't work anymore. These ideas of separation, that's what's created a lot of the problems within our world. And even the issue of our climate and the issue of pollution specifically is a byproduct of that idea that we are separate from our earth. You know what, we're just here living on earth, and that it is something that is separate from us. It is just something that we live on. But that's not true. That's not the case. We are organisms that are, contributing to the biome of this planet as a life form, because our planet is a life form. She's not just some fucking dead rock floating through space. And I think it's really important that we get that idea out of our heads, because that's really the root of all the problems that we experience here, is this idea that we're somehow separate from our planet, even though we are just a microorganism inhabiting her body. The same way that we have our own microbiomes, and the same way that we have our own ecosystems within our body that have tiny little life forms working around the clock to keep us alive. It's the same thing on planet Earth. We are working around the clock to keep her healthy. And the way that we do that is starting with our thoughts, and starting with transmuting our beliefs and our sense of self. That is how we will change the world. That is how we will contribute to purging a lot of the trauma within the collective consciousness, is starting with the singular, starting with the self, and then moving outward. That is what torch holding is. When you hold space for love, and you hold space for transmutation of your own traumas, and your own personalized beliefs that are holding you back and creating limitations in your life, when you transcend those beliefs, and whenever you start to purge those beliefs and become a higher version of yourself, you almost kind of create like a supernova, where you begin to just radiate this activated energy. And I'm getting chills right now as I say this. You begin to radiate this activated energy that is picked up by other people in your environment. That is essentially what the awakening is. It's this idea that everybody is going into the self and transmuting the self so that we can simply exist, and by existing in this higher state of frequency, we project those same energies onto everyone else around us. So you don't even have to be preachy about your beliefs and about what it is that you've done to transmute yourself. By people just being around you, they are going to begin to feel inclined to transmute themselves as well. We're all just torch holders, and we're all just guiding lights for others. Our current circumstances on planet Earth are simply a reflection of the collective consciousness. And when I say the collective consciousness, I mean the whole of humanity. So there is a small fraction of people, that number in percentage is growing, but right now it's still relatively small. There's a small fraction of people that are doing the inner work, are transmuting their beliefs, transmuting their sense of self, attaining these higher frequencies of life, manifesting their desired life, manifesting things for themselves and for other people, bringing lots of happiness and joy and contentment into their lives, and for the lives of their loved ones too. The small fraction of people that are doing that work right now are essentially kind of holding the space for the rest of the collective to begin to do that work too. And like I said, that percentage of people is growing because we are experiencing a mass awakening during this time, and over the course of the next decade, it is going to exponentially grow, from what I've been told, from my assistants, my guides, the entities, and the non-material consciousness that works with me and helps me channel these messages. Energy workers are going to become very, very important, increasingly important over the course of the coming decade. Specifically, like the 2020s specifically is going to be very significant for the awakening. And I think we're already seeing that. I think we're already kind of seeing that on a mass scale. But as I was saying, as we begin to transmute ourselves, and as we begin to transmute, a lot of the traumas and the shit that we're holding on to on an individual level, then we will begin to see true change happen within our planet. There's this massive push towards fear in the media with everything. It doesn't matter if it's COVID, it doesn't matter if it's the war, it doesn't matter if it's climate change. There's always a fear agenda that's being pushed. And I think it's really important that we see through that, because the fear agenda creates this idea that there's no way out, right? That it's just hopeless. Creates this sense of hopelessness within people. It doesn't leave room for faith. And I think faith is a really, really important key part of humanity that we've lost touch with. And it's actually a really key component in successful manifestation as well. So if you want to be a successful manifester, you have to have some level of faith within yourself, within your current circumstances, for the world. We can manifest world peace. We can manifest a healthier planet. We can manifest a saving of the planet. Now, she is a living organism, and just like living organisms, her temperature fluctuates. Just like when you're sick, you begin to get hot, right? That's what a fever is. It's your body purging all of the shit that is making it sick by changing its temperature. And it's kind of the same process. There is obviously a parasitic energy here on the planet. And I don't think it's a group of people, it's a consciousness. It is not a group of people. You know, we like to point fingers and say, oh, the elite, oh, these people, oh, those people. It's the left, it's the right. There's all these finger pointing, when at the end of the day, it's not even a group of people. It's a consciousness that is infesting people. It is a viral consciousness, you could call it. I don't know if any of you have seen Osmosis Jones, but I always talk about how that movie is a documentary, because it really is like a literal representation of what's going on here on planet Earth. You know, you have this virus almost, and the virus is fear. It's the fearful mindset, the hopelessness mindset, the doom and gloom mindset. That level of consciousness and that frame of mind is a disease. And it is running rampant within our species. And that consciousness form itself is a cancer to the planet. That is what's destroying the planet. It's not climate change. It's not rich people. It's not poor people. It's not the elite. I mean, yeah, everybody plays a role, right? If you live in Western civilization specifically, or if you live on this planet, you are contributing to the bullshit in some way, shape, or form. But you can mitigate a lot of that contribution with a conscious lifestyle, whether that's through meditation, whether that's through, you know, composting or being mindful about your waste. You know what I mean? It'll reflect in every regard. Like when you start to transmute the shit within yourself, you'll naturally feel inclined to start doing things for the environment. It'll just feel right. It'll be an inherent calling. That's why so many people who are spiritual are, you know, interested in the environment. They're invested in the environment because they have tapped into that level of consciousness that's told them, like, holy shit, you know, I need to start living this way if I want to take care of the mother, the earth mother, because she's our mother. She's our mama at the end of the day. So the internal work that you're doing is essentially transmuting this cancerous consciousness. That's what I'll call it. I'll call it the cancerous consciousness, because there is a cancer on this planet, but it's not humans. We need to get that shit out of our head, because I see a lot of people like complaining on the internet and like bitching on social media. They're like, oh, humans are a cancer to the planet, like we're ruining this planet. But no, like we're actually here to sustain the planet. We have been specifically designed with this higher level awareness as a way to take care of the earth. It's like nature is healing itself. You know what I mean? Through humans activating and becoming more aware and becoming higher vibrational, we are healing the planet. This is a natural process. Nature's technology is upgrading so that she can heal herself. So through doing your individual work, through listening to affirmation tapes, transmuting your beliefs, manifesting the life that you desire, inviting in more gratitude, inviting in more love, being more loving to the people around you, being kinder to the people around you, being kinder to the planet, through those activities, you are sending out a spark that is not only healing you, not only healing the people around you, but it is healing the entire world. We are the key to healing this planet. It starts within. Everything starts within. All of the problems that we have collectively are a byproduct of the shit show that is present within the human spirit. And it's not because the human spirit is shit. It's because there has been so much fear consciousness. This cancerous consciousness has really rooted itself in our psyche. And it has created the shit show that we are now having to transmute. It is our responsibility to transmute this so that we can continue to persist as a species and we can continue to care for our planet. Because we are not just here just to be here. Nature is highly intelligent, and I think, you know, modern scientism has this tendency to just kind of blow it off as something that's automatic and just kind of like, it takes consciousness out of nature. Like nature just does things because nature does things, you know, but that's not the case. Like nature is highly intelligent beyond our understanding. She doesn't just do shit for the sake of doing shit. Humans have been carefully evolving to this higher state of awareness, back to our original version, because when we are at that higher state, we'll feel more inclined to take care of the planet. Over the course of 2022 and the coming years, it's going to be very shaky. Because this cancerous fear consciousness is beginning to fracture, we're starting to see the cracks, right? We're starting to see the little fracture cracks within the events in our society, you know, what's going on right now in the world. It's all just a process. And of course, the media is trying to spin it into this whole fear thing, end of the world, World War III, apocalypse type of deal. But apocalypse doesn't even mean the end of the world. It literally means uncovering. So we are seeing this unveiling of this cancerous fear consciousness. Humans are not the problem. It is the cancer-based consciousness, the fear consciousness, that is the problem. There is a mass push towards that consciousness as people are beginning to awaken and connect to these higher energies and really transmute that fear and become a white blood cell for the planet. There's an even bigger push. It's like there's this increasing push towards fear, and it's not working anymore. So it's just kind of like all of these tactics being thrown as kind of like a last resort. But of course, light always prevails. So the awakening will continue to ensue. People will continue to awaken to their abilities, begin to awaken to manifestation, and we're going to be very important. The people who are watching this video, you've been called to this video for a reason. You are very important, and I need you to know that, and I need you to take that responsibility and take it seriously. Like, I know I'm just some bitch on the internet, like, telling you this, but you are important, and you need to take that seriously, and you need to really take this as a responsibility, because this is the future. People like us are going to be the future. We are the future, and we're here to bring about the future. That's why this current structure of society doesn't work for us. That's why most of us in this community don't resonate with the current structure of society, because we are not meant for this society. We came here to bring about a new one. But in order for that new one to come through, the old one has to fall. And that's what we're seeing right now, especially in the United States specifically. In fact, one of the channelings I've received about the United States is that its time as a worldwide superpower is actually over. And that's something that I keep receiving. That is something that keeps coming through, is the United States time as a worldwide superpower is over. But people like us are very important, because when people begin to really awaken to these ideas, they're going to be in a vulnerable place. I mean, think about a lot of you when you first had your awakening and you didn't have anybody there with you to handhold you, to guide you, to assist you. So you had to go through all of this dark bullshit, right? Like, in order to kind of navigate your way through this awakening. The people who are going to be waking up in the coming years are going to need us. So I'm putting this message out for you guys. When I first got my camera out to make this video, I really wasn't sure like what this video was going to be. I just knew I wanted to get on camera and start channeling. So this is kind of like where it all ties together, and I'm now starting to see the purpose of this video. If you feel inspired to create content, and if you feel inspired to start talking to your friends, to start putting yourself out there and really just awakening others to their power, awakening others to the fact that they can have whatever the fuck they want. You know, awakening others to the fact that we are superheroes, guys. Like, we're literally superheroes that have been convinced that we're these feeble little creatures that are finite, but we're not. We're infinite, we're limitless. And if you are feeling inspired to start creating content, if you're feeling inspired to start shouting to the world about this power, you know, about whatever it is that you're feeling called to create, do so. This is your sign. Because we need more healers, we need more spiritual teachers, we need people out there doing the work, so that when this mass awakening happens, because it's already happening, but I've channeled a lot of information about a specific point. Almost like ding, like a little light switch or something goes off, and there is going to be a mass awakening. The masses are going to be hoarding people like us for information, for understanding, and it's going to be very overwhelming. Because like I said, there's going to be something is going to happen, and I think it might be over the course of the next few years, like next 5 years. There's going to be some kind of ding. I keep hearing that sound in my head, like a ding, where it's just like all of these people, for some reason, activate at the same time. And I'm talking like a good majority of the populace is going to activate at the same time. or around the same time, like within the same year, or within the frame of 6 months. Like there's going to be a mass group of people that awaken. And of course, they're going to be vulnerable. They're going to be scared. They're going to be in a place where they're looking for information, trying to figure shit out. So it's really important for people like us, for the healers, the spiritual teachers, the intuitives, the people that are connected already, who have been doing the work, to hold space for those people and to start pursuing whatever you feel called to do. If you don't feel called to make content, that's fine. But whatever it is that you feel called to do, do it. Like, I don't know, I just feel very inspired to make this video because I think there's this it's almost like a build that I'm feeling in the collective consciousness. There's a build of people who want to do something. They want to speak their truth in some way. Be more authentic. Be more of themselves. Do it. Who gives a fuck what people think? If people leave your life, then good riddance. You know what I mean? Like, they were never your friend to begin with. It is up to people like us to be authentic and serve as a guiding light for others to live in their authenticity. And that's why I'm making this video. There's no script. I'm not here, trying to give you guys a lesson or anything like that. I'm simply channeling I'm just channeling what I'm channeling. We really, really have to lead by example. Like, we need to start now. We need to start leading by example now and being authentic, living in our authenticity, being our highest version of self in every moment, showing up as our highest self and our best self in every moment. And of course, like, that best self is going to look different in every moment, right? But as long as you are showing up, that is what matters. But we really need to start leading by example and start being more authentic and start expressing ourselves freely, especially when it comes to how powerful we are, how limitless we are, how infinite we are, and how connected we are, most importantly. So I just wanted to make this video. I know it's kind of an odd topic, but this was unplanned. I literally just busted out my camera. I was hanging out with a friend right now, and I'm probably gonna go hang out with him, but he was busy, and he's running late, so I was like, oh, this is the perfect time to make a video. So I do feel like Spirit made space and time for me to sit and make this video because I was feeling called to channel anyway. But I appreciate you guys for connecting with me, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. Don't forget to check out my Facebook group, guys. It'll be linked in the description box below. Please answer the questions, guys. They're not that hard. It's just your email, 3 cool facts about you, and what you're looking to improve in terms of your psychic gifts. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're wanting to develop your spiritual and psychic gifts, I have a Facebook group for that. I'm also going to be offering coaching, group coaching, and one-on-one coaching. So you can check all of that out in the description box below, my website, my Facebook group, all of that good stuff. But I will see you later. Take care and have a beautiful rest of your week, guys. Bye-bye.